Coming up on WFT's First at 5, blistering heat and dominated the weekend with feels like temperatures nearing 110. Why the UF weather team says this isn't going away anytime soon.
Plus, newly surfaced video from a Jacksonville traffic stop gone awry. The civil rights attorneys now getting involved, with concerns being raised over accountability for the officers involved.
And we're officially 6 months into the second term of Trump's presidency and how he's faring in the polls as potential scandal continues to loom.
First at 5, from the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
Temperatures were in the 90s throughout the weekend, with the heat index in the triple digits for much of north central Florida. Welcome to WFT's First at 5. I'm Ciara Carle.
And I'm Radaysha Robinson. That extreme heat has been a constant this July and has brought powerful thunderstorms and showers along with it. We're joined now by UF forecaster Aiden Wacksman, who tells us this week might not be too different. Aiden.
You can see that there are some showers and thunderstorms moving through parts of our area right now in north central Florida. Some of these moving through Levy County. Here in Alachua County, we've actually seen a couple rounds of storms today. But let's take a look at this cell right here in Levy County. You can see a lot of lightning with this one, still over 100 strikes with this cell alone as it starts to get a little bit more easterly motion and parts of this storm move into Marion County. And you can see some of these rain rates, an inch an hour, but as that storm moves to the east, you can see some higher rain rates in those purples where we could see up to 3 to 4 inches an hour in terms of our rainfall for the rest of the evening. Tonight, those showers, normally they clear out about 10 o'clock, but even into the early morning hours tomorrow, there are isolated showers that are still possible. Temperatures not dipping very much, but might just want to keep that in mind on your way to work tomorrow morning. Coming up, I'll tell you why some of us could be seeing up to 4 inches of rain this week.
The Gainesville Police Department needs your help finding the suspect in a deadly Easter shooting, and the department's chief is personally asking the community for answers. Police posted this video of the shooting at TB McPherson Park on their Facebook page. They said the shooter was wearing a gray hoodie and red shorts. They say he ran down Southeast 15th Street after firing. This next video clip was taken right after the gunshots. It shows another person running the same way as the shooter while everyone else was going the other way. Chief Moya says he wants closure for the woman who was killed.
It is of importance that we identify and bring to justice those responsible for her tragic passing.
The chief explained they are hoping to gain more information, like who they were with and what cars they were driving. If you have any information, contact the police department.
After a long and challenging deployment to Central Texas, Florida Urban Search and Rescue Task Force 8 has finally begun their journey back home. The team was deployed on July 7th in the response to the devastating Lone Star State flooding, conducting search and rescue operations along swollen rivers and creeks. They also served as a swift water quick reaction force for the second round of flash flood warnings in the state. This morning, the crew began its 1,100 mile trek back to Central Florida.
Right now, several Marion County communities are under a boil water advisory. It's due to a water main break in the southwest part of the county this morning. County officials say neighbors in the JB Ranch, Majestic Oats, and State Road 200 corridor may have to boil their water for the next few days. For a full list of neighborhoods under the advisory, head to WUFT.org.
Now for the latest developments on Camp Blanding. Immigrant advocates riled up Saturday to protest against plans to turn the National Guard training site into an ICE detention facility. People gathered outside of the Blanding with signs reading "No concentration camps," others calling for an end to ICE raids and fascism. According to Governor Ron DeSantis, the plan to use the site as a detention facility are on hold until Alligator Alcatraz fills up. But protesters riled up regardless, after calling for the end of what they say are inhumane conditions at existing facilities.
Attorneys are now being hired by a 22-year-old Jacksonville resident after a disturbing video from a February traffic stop went viral. In the video, the officers say they pulled 22-year-old William McNeil over because his vehicle's headlights were not on. He questioned the traffic stop because it was not raining and it was still light outside. McNeil was asked to step out of the car, but when he asked to speak with a supervisor, things take a turn.
Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle.
Heard on February 19th of this year. On Sunday night, civil rights attorney Ben Crump and Harry Daniels announced that McNeil had retained them to represent him.
Florida State Senator Blaise Ingoglia was officially sworn in as the state's new chief financial officer early this afternoon. The newly appointed officially spoke after the ceremony, stating that his why is fighting for the everyday Floridian.
You are not going to see anyone fight harder for the taxpayer, for the consumer, than I will. And I'm planning on hitting the ground running.
Before this appointment, Ingoglia served in both the Florida Senate and House of Representatives. He is now the 5th chief financial officer in the state's history. And just released, the jobless rate in the Citrus-Levy-Marion region increased to 5.1% in June, up 0.5% compared to last year's rate. That's according to CareerSource. The number of unemployed in 3-county area is now at nearly 12,000 and 1,300 year over year. Preliminary regional employment statistics for July will be available August 15th.
When we return, we take a look at how the second Trump administration is faring 6 months after inauguration as humanitarian crisis continues in the Middle East.
And a look back at life and work of television star Malcolm Jamal Warner, gone far too soon.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
We're saddened to report the death of Malcolm Jamal Warner, who rose to fame as a child actor playing Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show. Warner reportedly died in a drowning accident in Costa Rica while on vacation with his family. The New Jersey native started acting at age 9, making appearances in shows like Fame before being cast as the only son of Bill Cosby's character in The Cosby Show. Warner was nominated for a Primetime Emmy in 1986 for his work on the legendary sitcom. After the series ended, he continued his work in television, with credits including Suits and American Horror Story. Malcolm Jamal Warner was 54 years old.
It's officially been 6 months since President Trump took office for his second term, and Americans are weighing in. A new CBS poll finds 58% of the country does not approve with the job he is doing. Part of this approval decreased the on and off again tariff strategy implied by the administration, according to the Associated Press. 61% of American adults approve of his work on trade. The next round of tariffs will go into effect August 1st, but eye of the nation remains on the so-called Epstein files, with Americans from both sides of the aisle unsatisfied with the information revealed so far. In response to the fury, the DOJ requested grand jury testimony related to Epstein, but former Epstein lawyer Alan Dershowitz says it is unlikely to provide much information.
Information that hasn't been requested is going to be far more informative and far more relevant than the grand jury information.
While the administration tries to move away from the controversy, Capitol Hill Democrats doing all they can to keep it in the spotlight, with one lawmaker filing a resolution demanding the release of all the files.
Moving to the ongoing humanitarian crisis in the Middle East, officials reporting of yet another incident surrounding food distribution to starved Palestinians. This as expansion continues for the Israeli government, issuing a new evacuation order that will see tens of thousands of Palestinians once again displaced from their homes. The UN now estimates 90% of Gaza has been displaced. Now, Palestinian leaders reporting nearly 1,000 people killed Sunday around UN food distribution trucks, where World Food Program Executive Director Cindy McCain experienced the chaos firsthand.
What we saw were thousands of people running towards us, and they were hungry, they're starving. And all of a sudden, the Israeli tanks, Israeli guns, Israeli weapons from all kinds started firing on the crowd.
Officials report that Sunday was the single deadliest day of aid distribution thus far in the conflict.
Many of us have seen a couple of rounds today, a couple of rounds of rain today. I'll let you know just how much more you can expect for the rest of the week coming up.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Well, I had a glimmer of hope that the rain might finally let up, but I woke up this morning and more rain.
Aiden, tell us, will this rain continue for the rest of the week?
The rain should continue for the rest of the week and especially over the next couple of days. But let's take a look at the live radar here in Levy County and Marion County. You can see this one thunderstorm cell moving a little bit to the east there. It was a little bit stronger earlier, but still packing a lot of lightning, over 100 strikes with this unit of storms alone. Could be making its way towards 75, might disrupt some commutes for the rest of the evening. Looking over to the rest of north central Florida, you can see some scattered showers and thunderstorms for many of us. We've actually seen a couple of rounds of storms today, but you can see here in Putnam County and Clay County some showers popping up, some thunderstorms popping up in Columbia County near Lake City as well. So we're seeing a lot of these storms pop up because there's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere right now. Many areas should be under a marginal flash flood risk for the rest of the day today, and that does continue into tomorrow as a low pressure system moves in, and that's much more widespread, as you can see there, just the flood risk marginal for pretty much the entire state of Florida. On head over campus, you can see some of those cloudy skies. It's heated up a little bit over the past hour or so, about 3 or 4 degrees as those storms have moved out, and it feels like it's 11 degrees hotter than the actual temperature right now, so very, very humid as well. For the rest of us, 84 in Gainesville at the airport, 93 in Ocala, and 92 in the Villages, a little bit cooler in Cedar Key, but you can see the areas that are warmer like Ocala and the Villages and Marion County haven't quite seen some of those showers and storms, and that's why they're staying so hot. Heat indexes too, you can see the difference, right? 93 at the airport in Gainesville, 106 is what it feels like in Ocala. So make sure you're staying safe out there if you're engaging in any of those fun summer outdoor activities. The hour by hour rain chances are staying they're possible, right? Even into the late night hours tonight, they don't completely taper off like they would usually for this time of year. So those rain chances staying a little bit high, even in the overnight hours. You can see the heavy rain setup here, this high pressure kind of rotating with these clockwise winds, and you can see bringing in some moisture from the north, some Atlantic moisture as well, and that's causing some of those showers and storms to pop up. This low pressure here too will be moving across our area too in the next couple of days. You can see some of these showers and thunderstorms moving in tomorrow along 75, even into the Marion County, 10 o'clock in the morning, right? The possibility for showers and storms is going to remain throughout the entire day. And you can see this low pressure system, the culprit for showers in these storms, moving through parts of Louisiana too in the Panhandle before that finally escapes our area. And still rain chances should continue into the rest of the week all the way into Thursday, but maybe clearing up a little next week.
Florida Golf head coach Jason Deacon turned back the clock and claimed his third Florida Open title this weekend, doing it in a dramatic fashion down in Naples. Deacon rolled in a short birdie putt on the 18th hole to force a playoff at Quail West, then drained a 17-footer on the very first hole of sudden death to win it over former Gator Joseph Patton. It's Deacon's third Florida Open title since 2017, making him the first player to do that in more than 60 years. He has also shot in the 60s in all 9 rounds of his championship wins. He earns $20,000 and a little bragging rights over his former players. Hard to beat a guy who can coach and close. Gator Golf will be back in the spotlight this fall, and it looks like their coach is still leading by example. Finally, Chris Paul has agreed to a 1-year deal with the LA Clippers. The 40-year-old point guard previously played for the LA team from 2011 to 2017. He becomes the latest veteran addition to the Clippers, who also added former Gator Bradley Beal, announcing last week that this will be his final NBA season. And that's all for sports. Aiden will have a final look at weather coming up after the break.
You might want to have that umbrella ready for the rest of the week. It's looking pretty rainy, especially tomorrow and Wednesday, where some areas could see up to 4 inches of rain. Temperatures staying about what they usually are for this time of year. But again, make sure to be ready for that rain this week.
Thanks, Aiden. Have a great night.